Buongiorno, Nicolò. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to wait a couple of minutes for other viewers to join us. I am loving your backdrop.
It's a worldwide preview. I will tell you later. Worldwide, you have this honor. Oh, I had the honor of presenting it with you, through you.
How beautiful. So this is 2020.
This is autumn 2020, which is the new capsule collection, not yet introduced.
Oh, how gorgeous, how gorgeous. Well, it looks like people are all logging on, and it's 5 o'clock in London and 6 o'clock in Venice. So welcome, everyone. I'm Emilio Pimentel-Reid, and we're on Interiors Academy. Today, we are thrilled to be in conversation with Nicolò Favaretto Rubelli, Vice President and CEO of Rubelli, the Venetian firm directed by his family since 1889, which is still setting trends in the world of textile design. Nicolò oversees all development of new products and collections, working with designers for the different Rubelli Group brands. He had a major role in starting the partnership with Giorgio Armani to create a new line in 2009 named Armani Casa, Exclusive Textiles by Rubelli, with new designs launching in 2020. And Nicolò has also collaborated with Peter Marino in his award-winning capsule collection. In 2005, because I don't want to forget this, the company launched Rubelli Casa, creating beautifully crafted furniture, upholstered, of course, in Rubelli fabrics. Welcome, Nicolò.
Grazie.
To start, obviously your family has been around for a long time, but how did you get involved with Rubelli after you were born? And, and your personal story with your brand?
Well, I'm not sure that my personal story is as interesting as the company story, but you know, when you have a family company, you belong to it. And the office where my father worked has always become a part of home, an extension of home. So really, it's difficult to define where the home ended, where the family ended, and where the company started. So I've always been there at home, going there to pick up my father sometimes, or to play when school was over. And then, but however, my father has always said, you are free to decide what you like to do. My father is a lawyer, so he himself was prepared, had a different preparation education, and then entered the company. So I'm a civil engineer by education, very useless. But I realized actually that there was a huge opportunity. And at a certain moment, I finally rushed with my studies to complete them. And then there was an opening, let's say, at the company, entered, and never got out. It's a privilege. I realized, I mean, first of all, there's not much to do in Venice. More and more, when I finished my studies, it was maybe easier. Today, really, there's very little activity in Venice. So I would have been forced to abandon my home city. Whereas Rubelli gave me an opportunity to stay here. My whole family is still here, but we're very few Venetian. Most of my friends now are Milano or London, in nice places. but Rubelli, the family company allowed me to stay here. And on the other side, I realized what a beautiful product and the history, the heritage behind this, which was there. And I mean, opportunities that no other job would have allowed me to pursue. I have to say it's quite tough, because when your name is on the door, if you do something right, you say it's obvious, it's a name. If you do something wrong, you're very easily criticized. But okay, that's a part of the charm of being in a family business where your family is still involved. My father is still a president, and still very active, coming to work in spite of his age. He's turning 89 soon, but still too much in love with the family company.
And Nicolò, you create collections every year. What is your process when you create a collection? So We are thrilled to be seeing a little peek of the new Rubelli collection behind you. How do you start? How does a collection evolve to the point where you have a finished collection?
I am lucky. I have a good team of 7 designers in-house working on the collection. They're very experienced, talented. They love what they do. They put a lot of passion, which is a signature, let's say, of our company and of a family company, maybe in general. And they're very skilled. They know the history of art. They're both historians of art and designers. So really they pursue what they have a very good way of pursuing the ideas and developing the collection. The new collection starts with the briefing. So that's a kind of my role, being between sales, the new developments, and trying to tell them what I think should be product-wise the developments, and asking them, what have you seen at the fairs, what you see in magazine, what you think we should do, but trying to put together what the frame for a new collection should be. Then we are a mill. What my great-grandfather in 1889 acquired was a shop in Venice, but also a weaving mill. Today the weaving mill is the Como area where silk is made, but we still have in our DNA the fact of being weavers. So what we do, we're more often more than a design firm, a design studio where we select things, we build things. We're a laboratory, a lab. And there's a lot of research, both design-wise and in the qualities. I think this is a very peculiar to Rubelli. We have our own qualities that we develop, and there's a lot of research in the yarns. Today, there is it's so important, the value, the inherent value of the fabric. It's also a pretty color or a pretty pattern on whatever it is made of. It is really the research, the depth, the yarns, the performance is something that we developed a lot together with the design. So the briefing is the start. And then weaving is not a perfect art. You think you are doing something and then you achieve something which is very different. So really, when during this process of development, we start with A, we end up with Z, or something like that. It's very different. But I mean, we keep a certain ideas, but really you discover, you have surprises, and the evolution is continuous. So it's very important to have debriefing meetings very often to see what is achieved, study, go back, try a new path, and so on. And that's, I mean, it's a wonderful process, very creative. You also look at sales, so you think, maybe we need to do this, maybe we need like now more performances, maybe we need something which is virus free or whatever. So new ideas come all the time. But that's how they're developed. I'm very proud of my design team. They are very talented. But I think the risk when we live in a small village as Venice is, and we have a heavy history, which is wonderful, but it can become a heavy burden sometimes, you need to listen to the outside input. So it's very important to travel, to visit people, both, I mean, to see what happens in the world, starting from Salone del Mobile and many other opportunities, focus in London. But it's also interesting to work with our talents, to develop, to think out of the box. Otherwise, you tend to be too self-referential, which is very dangerous.
Because you also do a lot of collaborations. Tell us a bit about some of the ones that are important at the moment.
Yes, well, we have introduced recently a capsule collection. This is something I wanted to do because the risk for us is to be repetitive, because we think with the same minds. So I wanted really to challenge ourselves by working with other designers. In a way, working with Giorgio Armani for the collection with his own name was a great challenge, because he interpreted our qualities and our way of weaving, our knowledge, our know-how, with a different point of view. So really seeing his color, his designs, was very, very interesting. And I have to say, it brought a new energy to us. Working with certain clients sometimes is also opens you to different thoughts and different points of view. But I wanted also something different. So, and possibly in a way connected to Venice. So Peter Marino was the first artist. I can't call him just an architect. He's beyond an architect. And he's the chairman of Venetian Heritage, so very strongly connected to Venice. He adores Venice. There's an enormous passion in him. So I really asked him if he wanted to develop something. And it was very interesting, the process. I have to say, I learned and enjoyed it a lot, because meeting him,
Yes.
very, very smart, very sharp, very fast, very, very clear. And really it was a process which I really enjoyed. And that was the first capsule
And
collection.
sorry to interrupt, did he allow you to see Rubelli in a different way? Tell us about how Peter Marino saw Rubelli. That was new to you or different to you?
Yes, well, he appreciated what we did. I mean, his first briefing for a collection was I want water, the reflection of light on the water, and I want certain Venetian colors inspired by Tiepolo and a nice blue, which I cannot find anywhere. I need it. And so we work with my designers. There's one in particular, and she got inspired by certain, well, watching exactly how the design of Peter Marino is, etc. Developed many proposals, then we fine-tuned it and came to a collection which I was very pleased and proud of, and he was very proud. He is very proud of, and which is being awarded, because recently it was awarded by the Interior Design Magazine American, and very soon it will also receive the El Decor International Award for Best Fabric Collection. So that's
Okay.
a very great recognition.
Peter.
Yeah.
And Nicolò, obviously Peter Marino was able to identify areas of the market where he saw there was a need. So that brought an interesting point of view to Rubelli. But at the end of the day, you always need to know what Rubelli is about. In your mind, what makes Rubelli special in your segment of the market?
We are more and more attracted and receive big satisfactions from the world of luxury, both store planning, window display, sometimes products, and we're being approaching that segment more and more often. And I have to say also the experience of Peter Marino helps us, and he saw this possibility. He specified immediately his fabrics for many of the brands that he designs for, which was a big satisfaction, I have to say immediately. In a way, because of the Venetian heritage, because of our silk experience, we are seen as a collection which is very close to, it's a bad one, but luxury. And that really has become, over time, a kind of a synonym of Rubelli. And sometimes becomes also a burden, because people may be intimidated by Rubelli. So recently we have done also a big work in making people understand that, yes, we have this luxury segment, we are the red carpet dress. The big, I mean, that's, you can find it at Rubelli, it belongs to us. With Peter Marino, you have also a more contemporary, let's say, or unexpected red carpet silk. But we have a lot of experience in weaving. Therefore, we introduced a very rich, we have worked for the hospitality market, for high-performing textiles, which are suitable for public areas as well as private homes. They're very easy to wear. I mean, we like to wear jeans, we love beautiful things, but often you like to wear jeans because they're comfortable, you don't have to think about them. So we have a big part of the collection developed in our own mill with a lot of research, which is high performance, easy wear, fabrics that you can use without concerns. That's what I like to say. That you can use, and that's a part of our DNA as well.
So I mean, I always think of Rubelli as being luxurious, but always very technically advanced. And at the same time, you have an amazing archive. Could you tell us briefly about your archive, which I have been very lucky to visit in Venice?
Yes, we are lucky in the house where Lorenzo Rubelli used to live. We have the seat for this archive, and we make also temporary exhibitions, which can be visited when you come in Venice. with a previous reservation. But yes, we have collected, well, of course, the highlights of the Rubelli production from the end of the 1800 onwards. I mean, the highlights possibly is the designs that Gio Ponti designed for my great-grandfather, which were exhibited in 1934 in Venice at the Biennale of Art. And they are part of our archive, and that's what we're the most proud of. But there are also royal fabrics inside and so on. And then over time, in particular, my father has collected a lot of ancient textiles, which which are a documentary of the textile history in Venice in particular and worldwide. So I have to say I also enjoy myself sometimes buying documents which might inspire for new developments, or just because they're beautiful. And there are quite a lot of them.
So it's a living archive that continues growing as Rubelli continues growing, and you have new things coming in to inspire your designers as you look to the future. And Nicolò, how do you see the way that we live changing? Because obviously, having been involved with the brand for many years, you have seen how interiors have evolved. How do you see our relationship to our homes changing at the moment, and perhaps how fabrics are becoming more important?
I think we have all realized that homes are more important than we thought. Being forced to stay at home and feeling safe at home, we realize they're much more important than we expected. So maybe it's worth spending a little less in traveling or other pleasures, and spending a little more in the place where you stay most of your time at the end of the day. I think we all realize that furniture needs to be, beauty is very important, and that has always been one of our missions, let's say, to bring beauty in a home, and that is important. You want to see beautiful things when you are in your house. So I hope that people will want to be surrounded even more by beautiful things and dress their homes in a more exciting way. Maybe they realized, a lot of people realize that the fabrics look a little tired, or the house looks a little empty and needs to be dressed a little bit more elegantly. On the other side, we have all realized the importance of comfort, both in the textiles and in the furniture. I think that the chair where you used to sit only for dinners, you've been sitting for the whole afternoon, and all of a sudden it became a little bit hard or whatever. So, well, Rubelli Casa, one of the important things of the line Rubelli Casa is furniture needs to be comfortable, functional and comfortable. So really comfort and beauty, they have to go together. They can't be, we're not creating pieces for museums. We're creating pieces, textiles that people need to live with. And then furniture, it needs to be beautiful, but also very comfortable. And I think that we will maybe buy less, but buy better. Buy things in the future that really we will test them more. We will be more, we need to know more about the way they are built, and be sure that they are suitable for us, that we can live long time with them. It's also, I think that this disposable mentality is dated now. We prefer fewer things which can last longer. And this will I think, will set also the rules for the way we will buy and use, I mean, consume in the next years.
And so when we're buying more quality and things that are better made, what changes does the industry need to make in order to face the new way that we are consuming?
Well, first of all, let people know. I think we tend to believe that just showing a beautiful product, that's our task is finished. We need to explain why we develop certain things and what are the inherent qualities or what's behind it. Tell the story. We all want to know more about the product. We're not just buying one object, we're buying an object with a history. And at Rubelli, we have too many histories, which too often we keep for ourselves. That's very bad. So that's an important way of changing. And then, well, I think that we need really to communicate more also in letting people know how beautiful, how important it is to be surrounded by things which are comfortable and beautiful. Maybe make people aspire to these things. Today, an important way to educate, in a way, people, to let them aspire to something higher. Hotels and restaurants had a very important role. You'd go to a hotel and say, well, maybe my home needs something, a little touch, touching. And today, I think it's also a part of us companies in the interior design world that we need to teach more and to be more open, more clear also in our communication. We need people like you
Nicola,
also to teach, to educate. We need you, Emilia.
well, this is why we're having our talk, so that people out there can find out more about the brands that we love. You mentioned hotels, and I know that you worked with Agriti Palace in Venice. How was working with a hotel, and how was that different from working with a domestic interior? What was that project like?
Well, I have to say, in the past, it was hotels were a very different place from homes. Today, they tend to overlap, other than having certain requirements which are the same. But hotels need to look more welcoming, more like a home. And the Grit in particular is a great home. You want to dream to live in the palace, as I mean, to have that kind of experience. And the Gritty works very well for that. It was really, it had to look like a opulent residence. You had to be in a dream, being in Venice and being in a dream, and it achieved that target. On the other side, I think that also homes are more have inside more services, more experiences that used to belong once only to hotels. So strangely enough, in a way, they tend to look more and more like each other. So I have to
Interesting.
say, you working on both sides help yourself making both products for both destinations better.
Mm-hmm. And Nicolò, you've been discussing about the history of the of the fabric collections, all the work that goes into creating them. In your mind, why is good design worth it? Because it seems like that is the direction where we are going, where we want good design, so that people can understand, and that so that we can help them see why these beautiful textiles are special. Why is design in good design important in our lives?
Well, we could go forever on with the debate, what is good, what is bad, because at the end of the day, it's good design what you like, or what is popular, or what is there a rule, that's tough, and that we could go on forever. But I have the privilege of living in a city, well, maybe to call Venice a city is also tough, but which is a very unique place. Wherever you put your eyes on, you see beauty. We are spoiled by that. And we believe really, I mean, it's a privilege and it's something that we want to transmit. So really, in our textiles, we try to put a little bit of beauty that we want to share with the people who will get our textiles. So really, I think there is an imprint in what we put that is the charm and the beauty of Venice. Because I think being surrounded by beautiful things makes your life more beautiful. Again, we can live off bread and water, but who refuses a good meal and something exciting? I mean, our life is made of these small pleasures. And
yes,
good design is one of those small but very important pleasures that you have to live with. It makes a difference. I mean, we're not in the medical industry. We don't save lives, but we make lives more pleasant. And I think it is an important mission. And I mean, it's a form of art in a way. And it's an art that can be more spread around. Not everybody can have a big painting in a Titian or a Damien Hirst, if you like a Damien Hirst, in your home. But you can have a piece of design is more affordable, and you can and that can make your house, your home, a beautiful place as well. So I think spread beauty, and in design spread the beauty in an easier way than art can do.
And Nicolò, to finish off our conversation, can you in a couple of words tell us about what we should expect from the new collection?
Well, this is the new capsule collection, which is designed by Luca Nichetto, an artist coming from Murano, so the island nearby,
Yes.
so totally Venetian.
Very
But he married a girl from Sweden, so he lives now in Sweden, in Stockholm. But he designed this collection, which is called Carnevale by Luca Nichetto, and it has been big fun because he said, let's come out with a Venetian theme. So you have the confetti, and you have, yes, the one of the pattern are confettis, and it's called coriandolo in the Venetian word, the Italian word for confetti, and then some stars, which is a design. Well, it's a reinterpretation of a design which was done by another artist from Murano, who had developed that design in 1934, same year as Gio Ponti, for my great-grandfather. So it's a reinterpretation of a designer from an artist from Murano of a design created by an artist of Murano 8 years ago. And this is a collection which to me brings joy and a little bit of informality, and brings you a smile on your face when you look at them. This is the next collection coming very soon. Then we're working on the January collection, the main Rubelli collection. And I think that we don't need a big collection, but we need a strong collection. So whereas in the recent years, we have introduced a lot of good basics, high performance, easy care, which were in a way missing at Rubelli, this year it will be like fireworks, strong designs, because we want to make people dream. And so really the collection we're working on, and last Friday we have a meeting to finally sing all together. Well, a little late because we had the lockdown months, but we're really working on fabrics which are eye stoppers that really make you fall in love with. So we want to bring really some happiness to the people who will use them, both the designer for the design and the end user for the homes or the hotels.
Well, Nicolò, thank you so much for bringing joy to our day today, and for bringing joy and beauty to our homes always. And I am so looking forward to seeing the new collection in January and the capsule collection very, very soon. It looks so happy and so perfect for the moment. Thank you, Nicolò, and you have a good rest of the day.
Grazie, Emilio. Grazie for your mission of spreading the good news of the good design. And I will listen to your next conversation. Thank you to all those who have listened, have the patience to listen to us. Grazie.
Bye-bye. Thank you.